What's up guys, it's Drac, and today I'm reviewing a Nerf blaster that I'm excited about. Yes, you heard that right. This is an Elite 2.0 blaster that I'm excited about. It is the NERF Motoblitz. Let's talk about it. So a quick overview of the packaging reveals the part that I'm so excited about, which is, this is effectively a Raven master key, so to speak. It's a bullpup flywheel blaster with an integrated scope and a blast button on the side that appears to do some sort of shotgun blast of ammo from the front. Other than that, it's just saying that it has those two blasting modes there. It's saying that it's an Elite 2.0. The Motoblitz logo is incredibly well designed. I like that it kind of features the button in the logo. It reminds me of like old school Flash Flood product designs where they would do that sort of thing. It says this coming with 22 darts. Looks like it has a distinctly almost embossed Nerf mag in there, which is kind of cool, kind of new. And then on the back, it says this got a targeting scope. It elaborates how you pump to pressure, which is to say this might be a real blast button pressurized system. But we're not going to learn any more about it inside the package. Let's take this CS10, which is of course clip system 10 darts, out of the package and show you what we're working with. Okay, so to begin, we're going to do an aesthetic overview of the blaster, fully loaded back to front, starting with our stock. We've got it built-in stock here, not an in-strike stock. It has good curvature and knurling. It looks like a pretty good stock. As far as Hasbro stocks go, that one is quite comfortable. Coming up here, we have a cheek rest designed to flow kind of integrated into this built-in sight. You can see that sight picture there, and then putting the cheek rest there is not going to work, actually. It's the cheek rest is too high for the built-in sight. But luckily, as we move through, there's an in-strike rail on top of the sight if you wanted an actual sight on top of your sight. Yo, dog, I heard you liked optics, so we put optics on top of your optics so that you can optic while you optic. Coming down here, you've got a standard mag release in the back, leading to a bullpup mag well. And then, of course, on the other side, there is a jam door that slides down like so, and then slides up and clicks closed so that you can actually fire. But if you encounter a jam, you push that down and you have access there. So that more or less covers the stock. Now, of course, as long as we're talking about the optics up top, why have optics on top of your optics when you could also have optics down below? The blaster has two more in-strike rails on both sides of the blaster, here as well as here. That's where you would put, you know, a laser or a light on your dominant side of the blaster, so that the blaster itself still sits flush to your chest. You could come up like this, have your light here, your scope here, and then your backup scope here. Now, as though this optic weren't enough, as we move forward, you have not only the reticle inside, but also this half reticle, half sling point attachment on the side of the blaster. And then in addition to that, you have tons of sling point attachments on the back, with one built in behind the stock here, and one recessed in. Now this is plastic, so you wouldn't want to put a ton of like a metal carabiner in there. However, plenty of sling point attachments, tons of tactical rails. This was definitely designed to be a flagship style blaster. Now the grip itself has a relatively small thumb hole here. You're going to cramp your wrist if you have larger hands getting in there, but it is what it is. Trigger itself feels pretty decent. It's a cutout trigger, which is unusual for Hasbro. Normally they do solid ones. Then you've got a rev switch. Grip overall feels pretty good. Then over here, you're going to keep your non-dominant hand on this pump grip, where you have what is effectively an air pump. And mine is sticking at the back for some reason. I don't know why that is. So that you can pump up your jam and get ready to do your blast button, which is of course featured on both sides. So maybe you would want to squeeze as opposed to pushing just one. Oh my gosh, we haven't had an air blaster in so long. That's so satisfying. Even if at low pressure, it could only do 5 out of the 6 in its burst. Up here, you've got a muzzle device. Obviously, this is not an in-strike muzzle attachment point, just a regular muzzle device, a ton of dead space. And when I say a ton, I'm assuming that our propulsion mechanism is a flywheel system right here, and then well over a foot of dead space that those darts are going to travel through. So don't be expecting this in stock form to outperform something like your Strife or your Rapid Strike. You just can't beat the classics. Even a Raven has less dead space than this due to the integrated master key and the extra barrel length necessary for that. But as we move kind of into a less aesthetic overview of the blaster, it is important to note that Hasbro is still cheapening out on us. There's paint on one side, especially with that really sick looking Motoblitz. Of course, it is the side that they show you in the packaging, since it's an open face package. And then on the other side, they've chosen to omit it, and it actually looks very plain on the other side. I like the addition of white to the orange and turquoise kind of scheme here, and I actually like the new magazine with the embossed NERF logo as opposed to the painted NERF logo. I think that the embossing looks sharper in a modern kind of toy design sort of way. However, we all know that it's an attempt to put less paint on the blaster. You still have the rubber pads in the magazine. Those are good for drops and falls, particularly in a bullpup where that occupies a large amount of strikeable area on the blaster. But from a functional perspective, we can go ahead and load this up. It's nice to see that it doesn't have to be full for it to work. Let's see if we can get a better pop out of it and how many pumps it takes to kick in that OPRV, overpressure release valve. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and right around 10 pumps, I feel like I'm not getting anything extra out of it. But a very tight spread. I can't wait to do that outside. It's a built-in master key. We've been making these for years in what are called integrations in the modding community, where they're either spring-powered or will mount an air tank. The Cyberstrike line had the Blitz, the Lightning Blitz, which was really good for them. But this is very cool to see in a stock product, particularly one coming in under 50 bucks. Now, as far as the actual semi-auto mag-fed bullpup aspect of this, your primary in your blaster, the rev up takes a second. And it's a semi-auto flywheeler. It feels pretty good. Each trigger pull is throwing a thrower arm, pushing the dart into the flywheels and then ejecting it. You can fire about as fast as you can get your finger on the trigger. However, with the well being the size it is, you're using one finger at a time. Overall, no serious surprises from it. We've, after all, seen both styles of blasters before, but the overall integration is incredibly thin. It's very sleek. It's got a good sci-fi body. This is the kind of blaster that I see not only being really cool as a pickup now, but particularly when it goes on sale. This is the kind of thing that I would keep in stock on the blaster barn all day long. It's just a really cool platform. I'm looking forward to making a kit for it eventually. But let's see how it performs stock first. Let's take it outside and put it over the Crony. Get some of those shotgun blast down range in slow-mo. How about it? All right, guys, so we're out here with the Motoblitz, which is easily the Elite 2.0 blaster I'm most excited about. It just feels like an integration without doing any of the work. And it's a clean integration, too, with good lines, and I think it'll paint up nicely. It'll be hard to remove this Motoblitz logo from it for paint jobs, which is perhaps its only sin in integrating it so well into the shell design. But let's find out what the semi-auto side of things does. These are fresh batteries. We have 10 darts. Let's put at least 5 or 6 of them over the Crony and see what we're working with. 70, 72, duplicate 72, 69, 73, 74. So a little higher than what we've come to expect from the Elite 2.0 line, but let's pump up the shotgun. In true, it's a standard size NERF blaster. I wanted to do it the kindness of bringing the target into about 25 feet, but let's see how this does. And we managed to curve an Elite dart in there. Let's go ahead and throw a second magazine in. Hey! All right, so we managed to knock the target down a little bit, which isn't bad. I do want to point out that with a 6-rounder in, it gets flush up in there. And whether that was intentional or accidental, it's very sharp. It looks really good. But let's move in a little bit closer, because I really need to know if I come around cover like this and it's time to hit the panic button and I go, wow, that was a good blast. The ranges don't look like they're going to be exceptional. However, it was a good spread and a nice little puff of air. I think that is pretty cool. So we'll head back over to the chronograph after. Nice. Let's load up our puff of air gun one more time and see just what kind of, if any, chronograph registry will happen here. And this is a perfect candidate for a mod guide. So if you want to see the mod guide for this guy, throw me a like on this video. Make sure that you're subscribed and belled and all of that good stuff, because I do want to modify this. I do want to do a paint job on it. And in particular, I want to plug this OPRV and see if I can make it into a serious either shotgun or make some sort of sniper shell for it. But let's go ahead and 49. So the spread is amazing. It's a really good dart pattern for blasting them, but at 49 FPS, you can't help but wonder if we could do better. That said, as far as primary class flywheel blasters go, this has an interesting gimmick, a sleek aesthetic, clean lines, and it's I can't get over how you physically can't get into the into the site picture if you wanted to. However, overall, I think that it's not confidential. The Motoblitz has potential. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Tell me what you want to see out of the mod guide. I can't wait to cut this one open on camera for you. Maybe we'll even do a live stream. As always, much love. Blast on. Drac out.